Welcome to EnfinityCast, where we explore the big questions that echo through time. Today, we're asking one of the biggest. Does history have a purpose? Is it all heading somewhere? Or is it, as a famous historian once said, just one damn thing after another? I'm your host, Niko Ardent, and I'm so glad to be joined by the brilliant Marin Sage.
Thanks for having me, Niko. It's a profound question. I think for most of us, the default setting is to see history as a story, and stories have endings, right? This is the linear view of history, that time is a line, starting at a beginning and progressing towards a specific end.
Right, a concept with deep roots in Judeo-Christian thought. But there's another ancient perspective, isn't there? The cyclical view.
Exactly. The idea that history repeats itself, like the seasons. Empires rise, they flourish, they decay, and they fall, only for new ones to take their place. There's no ultimate destination, just an endless, repeating pattern. It's a much less optimistic view, in a way. There's no happily ever after in a circle.
Let's stick with that linear, purposeful view for a moment, because it produced some of philosophy's most ambitious ideas. I'm thinking of the German philosopher Hegel. For him, history wasn't random at all. It was the story of what he called the world spirit, gradually becoming more self-aware and, crucially, more free.
It's such a grand, almost mystical idea. So for Hegel, the rise of constitutional states, individual rights, these weren't accidents. They were necessary steps in the spirit's journey toward ultimate freedom. Every war, every revolution was just a painful but necessary part of the plot.
But then Hegel's most famous student came along and gave that idea a very different spin. I'm talking, of course, about Karl Marx.
Right. Marx took Hegel's idea of a purposeful history, but turned it on its head, as he put it. He said the driving force wasn't some abstract spirit. It was concrete. It was material. The engine of history for Marx is class struggle. It's the conflict over resources and labor.
So he kept the linear, goal-oriented structure, but the end point wasn't spiritual freedom. The destination was economic, a classless, communist society where the conflict that drove history would finally be resolved.
And I think the 20th century really tested both of those grand narratives. The world wars, the genocides, the existential threats. It became much harder to see a rational spirit or a clear march towards utopia in all that chaos. It made the one damn thing after another view feel much more plausible.
It really did. It almost feels like we're back to the cyclical view, just with more advanced technology. We see patterns of conflict, economic crises, social upheaval. It can feel like we're just spinning our wheels on a much more dangerous ride.
Maybe. Or maybe the purpose isn't something predetermined for us to discover. Perhaps the purpose of history is the one we choose to give it. We learn from the failures of the past, from the horrors and the injustices, not because we're following a script, but because we decide consciously to build a better future.
So the meaning isn't in the destination, but in our struggle to navigate the journey with intention. I like that. It puts the responsibility back on us. A thought-provoking place to end. Thank you so much for this, Marin.
My pleasure, Niko.
And thank you for listening to EnfinityCast. We leave you with the question, what purpose do you see in history?